Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I'm glad to be here. Do I sound a little funny to you? I sound funny to me. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Perhaps it's from workouts. It's over 100 degrees here. I like to work out when it's hot. And that hot air blowing down my throat maybe has an effect, or maybe, just maybe. It also might be something that I just read that's very dear, that brought back some amazing memories and made me just a little emotional. We'll talk about that maybe in just a minute. Have you ever been knocked off your feet with a question? It caused you to really kind of think things through? Well, that question came from a young lady, somebody that's very close to our family, that grew up with our children. She's got a beautiful family of her own now, but going through some tough times. She gave me a call and we kind of worked through some of those tough times, and she's really down on herself, down on some mistakes. But we talked through it, and she had a plan, and she took off. First reports I got back the next morning were things were working good. Later that afternoon, I got that question. Just a very simple question. All it said was, how old were you when you considered yourself successful? My response? I'm still on that journey. And then I gave her a quote that's very dear to me, and it comes from John Wooden. And Coach John Wooden, for those of you that don't know, he was a living legend. He was also one of the most successful basketball coaches of all time. And yet he lived a simple life, focusing on personal excellence, personal integrity, love, and balance. That was Coach Wooden. And for 15 years, his last 15 years, I had the opportunity to get to know him very well. Our family got to know him, but he came very dear to me. And somebody that I can't hardly believe that we even crossed paths, let alone had the relationship that we were able to have. I shared with her his definition of success. Success is the peace of mind that is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you are doing your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. You know, I can just hear those words coming out of his mouth. Whenever he said something or quoted something for somebody else, which was extensively, after he would quote it, he would say, and I like that. I remember him quoting Cervantes, and he would say, Cervantes said, the journey is better than the end. And I like that. He said he thinks that life's all about the getting there. He says sometimes when you get there, there's almost a letdown. But it's the getting there that's fun. And that's where we learn. Because he said if you're not doing, you're not learning. And everybody makes mistakes. We're human. It's what we do. But it's not the mistakes, it's what we do with them that counts, and that's John Wooden. Let me share with you another quote by Dieter F. Uchtdorf. Dieter is a former senior pilot for one of the major airlines, motivational speaker, businessman, and a religious leader. And he said in a recent speech, mistakes are events on the timeline of your life, but they don't define your life. They don't define you as a person or as a child of God. However, what you do about your mistakes by using the gifts given to you by God go a long way in defining the person you will yet become. Success is the peace of mind that is a direct result of the self-satisfaction in knowing you are doing your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming, and that means that you are in motion and you are making mistakes. Two more quotes from John Wooden. Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. I can hear him say it. And finally, do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. This is my message for this week. Let's seek after that peace of mind. Let's seek after the learning that comes from our mistakes. Have a marvelous week. I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.